Over the past 3 years, South Sudan has faced an unprecedented humanitarian crisis. Natural disasters driven by climate change have devastated lives and livelihoods, with flooding becoming a relentless force of destruction. Unity State, once a region of fertile lands and thriving communities, is now a landscape of submerged villages and makeshift camps. Families neighboring in the hundreds of thousands have been displaced, seeking refuge on higher land or in overcrowded camps for internally displaced persons, IDPs. The human cost of this crisis is staggering. Women, children and girls bear the brunt of this suffering. Displacement has not only stripped them of their homes, but has also exposed them to severe protection risks. Within these camps, the struggle for survival is constant. Basic necessities like food, clean water and shelter are scarce. Diseases thrive in the damp conditions, exacerbating an already dire condition.
Very many states in South Sudan have been affected by flooding, and Unity State being one of the states that have severely been affected. Counties like Ler, Rukona, Mayendi, Panjar, among others, are among those that have been severely affected, and several hundreds to thousands of people have been displaced. So you find that most of these people are overcrowded into IDP camps or resettlement areas, so-called the islands. And there's a lot of protection-related issues that go on in those camps. Women and girls and children are exposed to a lot of protection concerns. And there's a lack of MFIs and shelter items, people sleep in open air. So the humanitarian situation is really dire and people are in need of assistance.
In the face of such overwhelming need, hope is not entirely lost. Organizations like Presbyterian Disaster Assistance, Presbyterian Hunger Program and Hope Restoration South Sudan have stepped forward to provide relief. These dedicated humanitarian actors have distributed essential non-food items to displaced families and returnees. Mosquito nets, dignity kits, soap, tarpaulins and kitchen sets are just some of the supplies helping families rebuild a semblance of normalcy. But these efforts face immense challenges. Submerged roads and treacherous conditions delay the delivery of aid, leaving many of communities cut off from life-saving assistance. Despite these obstacles, humanitarian actors persist navigating through extraordinary challenges to reach the most vulnerable. Counties like Ler, Mayendet, Rubkona and Panjar are among the hardest hit. Here, over 400,000 people have been directly impacted by the floods, struggling to survive amid rising waters, conflict and poverty. The crisis has created ripple effects beyond displacement. Food insecurity looms large as agricultural land remains underwater, leaving families with little to eat. Clean water is a luxury, and the
dabara jarjara lena ma ga da rina tanan su su giba jade نحن نساوين ده تعبانين تجروا ما في محل تجر فيه لأنه الزمن البلد كله موية لما البلد موية ما عندنا محل نجر فيه جاوا قاعدين بس في هوبة.
Clean water is a luxury, and the lack of sanitation fuels outbreaks of waterborne diseases.
والله ما عندنا ولا حتى ملابس، نحن ما عندنا وما عندنا مأوى. المكان اللي بنرقد فيه هسه الآن ما في. جينا عانينا كثير من الأمطار وعانينا كثير من الرطوب وعانينا كثير من الأمراض، حتى النواميس اللي نحن داخل البيوت ما عندنا.
Presbyterian Disaster Aid in collaboration with Hope Restoration South Sudan distributed non-food supplies to refugees and returnees fleeing current conflict in the Sudan.
With our partners, Presbyterian Disaster Assistance help us with funding to purchase the items that are mostly needed, and these items are including, we have the mosquito nets, we also have dignity kits for women and girls at productive age, we also have saucepans and other items that are necessary for this response, because most of the people came from Sudan without items, and we have a population of 70,000 who choose Renk as their final destination. They have not been in a position to really get much assistance from the humanitarian, because much of the focus is onward movement, which in reality there have not been that resources to really move the people that are stuck in Renk.
Jerbana Boma in Renk County of Upper Nile State is swelling with refugees and returnees from the Sudan and internally displaced persons.
So we came with this little assistance of shelter materials and non-food items to actually support the community during this harsh weather, and also to support the coping mechanism so that they cope with the situation. It's not enough, but actually it helped a lot. It felt a lot coping with the situation.
Catastrophic consequences of humanitarian demands in South Sudan are posing a threat to exacerbate food insecurity and hinder access to safe and clean drinking water.
من ما قمنا صغار ما لقينا يدهم براكم انتوا عارفين شايفين الوضع وبراو يا حيوان بشرب جوا ونين نشرب جوا دايرين المويه اصل المويه مشكله خطر رئيسي مويه دوره الانسان مويه كان ما في زول ما في.
These organizations are providing emergency shelter, food and medical supplies to the needy. They are also working to provide education and psychological support to traumatized children in orphanage centers.
As a small family of Hope Restoration, it's not a guarantee, but knowing this place is God's direction, and we have formed a family. So we will always be here, we'll always share the little we have and how we can help each other. But kids are very innocent. They love everybody. They have no grudge with anyone. Their heart is pure. And that is the spirit we all need to have, because they have a bright future.
Hope Restoration South Sudan has been on the ground working tirelessly before, during and after crisis to support affected communities. Their focus on empowering women, youth and children ensures that no one is left behind even in the darkest of times. This is not just a South Sudanese crisis. Climate change has made such disasters increasingly common among the globe. But for the people of Unity State, it is a daily reality, turning their lives into a fight for survival. South Sudan's flooding crisis is a stark reminder of the urgent need for global action on climate change. But for the people of Unity State, it is more than just a crisis, it is a fight for survival. As the flood waters rise, so too much our resolve to stand with the people of South Sudan. Together, we can bring hope to a drowning land. Now, the challenges are compounded by outbreaks of malaria, further endangering the lives of those already struggling. Families in counties like Ler, Panyijar, Mayendet are facing unimaginable hardships. Yet hope remains alive through the effort of organizations like Hope Restoration South Sudan. Hope Restoration South Sudan has been a lifeline of these communities, delivering emergency aid, providing shelter, and addressing the critical health and safety needs of women, children, and youth. But the scale of the crisis demands more. We call on the global community to stand with the people of South Sudan. Governments, humanitarian agencies, and individuals worldwide can play a role in supporting Hope Restoration South Sudan with additional funding. Your contributions will enable us to reach more communities, provide life-saving medical care,